Welcome back to setting up the dashboard for Serbia. As you can see over here, I did a bit more testing and we're getting the labels. We're being able to track them even for different articles, so that is wonderful. I think we are fully ready to jump into setting up the dashboard. So our work with GTM and our work with Google Analytics is done for now. Now we're going to work entirely in Data Studio. So we're going to create a blank report. Let's begin by doing that. While this report is loading, let's just go and see what is our end game. We want to build a report just like Generali Slovenia. Of course, since there are 4 CTAs, we're going to have 4 smaller CTAs over here, but everything else should remain the same. You can see that there are 6 pages. We're not going to build all 6. We're going to build up to this 4 pages: banner deep dive, CTA deep dive, and article deep dive. These two are more of legacy views which aren't really required for the new dashboards going forward. So we're just going to mimic whatever's over here for Serbia for these 4 pages. So let's get started. Our new page, our new report has loaded. The first thing we need to do is we need to connect it to a data source. In our case, it's going to be Google Analytics. The account is going to be, alright, so I mentioned that our work in Google Analytics is done. It is for the most part, but we should check where the data for Generali Serbia lives. So let's see. It's in Analytics 2. Okay, great. So Analytics 2. We can just search for Serbia over here. Alright. Here's Serbia, there's just one wheel, and we are going to connect. Alright, we're going to add to report. Okay, great, that's done. Looks like data's coming in, but we are not going to be using this, so we can just delete that. What's going to be the name of our dashboard? We're going to keep it simple. Whatever the name of the dashboard you see over here, it's going to be the same. Except we're going to change Slovenia to Serbia. That's it. Alright. Now, some things we should add. Let's go into the edit mode. We're going to copy and paste a bunch of stuff. First of all is the size of our layout. So it's 1000 by 1000. Let's just do that. Grid setting is 10. Grid setting is 10. Okay. Everything else looks like they're the same, so we can ignore for now. Let's copy this and let's place this. Yep, exactly in the same location. Let's copy this and this. Exactly in the same location. Again, change Slovenia to Serbia. Okay, so far so good. Let's continue with our copy paste. Clearly something's gone wrong over here, because our source is unknown. Now we're going to select our data source and we're going to select Serbia. control field it says agent's name, but obviously that really doesn't work for us. So remember, the agent's name was mapped to the action. So event action. And the metric should be total events. There's still something wrong. Let's just remove the metric for now. I'm actually not sure. Ooh, the header colors. I'm actually not sure what the issue is. Okay, so sometimes we have issues like this. And during those times, you're just going to have to see what it is. So obviously we have a filter that we're going to worry about later. For now, agent's name, but we're going to do the renaming a bit later down the road. And the metric is total events. So I don't know why it's looking like this. Total events. Yeah. Everything seems to be fine. We're gonna create a filter later. But I don't know why it is not working as expected. Agents. That's all fine. Is it something to do with the styling? Oh, okay. So it had everything to do with the styling. Interesting. No wonder I got freaked out for a bit. Okay, so we just want to match our styles. I think that is so again, when we don't understand something, just try to match it from here. So it was the header color that was problematic, or was it? So header is of this color, and here the header should be of a lighter color, I believe. So header is theme, it's the fourth color in the theme. So this is the header color. It's the background color. This is the color. Anyways, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, we can play around and take a lot of time just fixing the colors, so we can do that later. Okay, next step are these guys. Yes, because the source is unknown. The source is going to be, I'm going to call it none of these filters actually matter. Obviously, what sort of metric is this? The metric is gonna be banner display. Okay, it is gonna be banner displays. It's gonna be total events. There we go. Obviously, we have a lot of events that we don't want, so that's where a filter comes in. Now, what is this banner filter? Event category equal to banner display. Wonderful. That's all we need. Okay. Now let's copy and paste some more stuff. Obviously, the source is going to be Serbia. It's going to be. Actually, I don't think we need to do that. It's already total events. So let's just call it display. So when you're copy pasting like this, you actually don't need to do a whole lot. All you gotta do is work on the filters. CT email. Yeah, looks to be alright. And again, don't worry if there aren't any data, because we're just starting things out. We're gonna work more about missing data later down the road. Let's add this. Obviously, it's Serbia. Yeah, filter looks to be alright. And then we have phone. So we're calling it phone here, although we were calling it something else in Tag Manager. That isn't usually good practice. You should try to ensure that they're the same. But let's just edit. Okay, so it's telephone over here, so it should be working exactly as expected. Right. So we're missing one more. So we're just gonna do a duplicate. We're gonna call it globe, and we're gonna add a filter. We're gonna create a filter. We're gonna call it CTA globe. Include, yes. Select field is category. Events category. Yep, that's the one. Equals to CTA globe. Save. So we're gonna leave CTA globe. Wonderful. We're done with the first part. Next comes these things. So first of all, we're gonna group them together. Okay. And we're going to group this together. Now we're going to copy these and we're going to paste it here. Okay, looks like it's been pasted a bit. Yeah, that looks about right. Now we're going to ungroup. Serbia. So we're only tracking banner display. So we're going to add a filter. What filter are we going to add? Banner display only. Perfect. This too we are going to ungroup. Select data source. We're going to remove the existing filters. And we're going to add the CTA filter. So it's 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. Not exactly sure why it says 8. That means something's wrong with our email filter. Let me just check our data again. Not saying this is the most accurate data, but if there are, in the last 30 minutes we actually didn't click much on the email, so fair enough that we won't have email data. Oh, and we might have more events because we simply did a bit more clicking around. So for now, it looks to be alright. I think we've nailed it. Not entirely, of course, but we've been able to come close. So we're just going to edit the style. Sometimes the style doesn't get copied properly. You want to explicitly make sure you're copying the styles, and I honestly think we're there. I guess this needs to be elongated a little. Yeah, I honestly think this is it. Obviously, once they start using this a bit more, we're going to have more data, and once we have more data, we're going to be able to really fine-tune some things. And we also need to create that agent banner, so in order to remove all of this test data, but that should be done not now, but only after they have given us the feedback and they've used this for a while and we are good to remove the test data. I believe I haven't added any filter over here. So agent name, where the only filter we're going to add is this one, CTA and banner. What does that entail? So it's either a CTA or it's a banner display. That should do. Okay. Ah, it's like more data is being tracked. This is only if it's a CTA, and that's only if it's banners. Okay, I think we're good. Any further testing will require more data. So for now, I think we're done with page 1. Let's just quickly check if there is anything else that we ought to be wary of. doesn't seem like it. So we can actually go ahead and create another page. So the first thing we're gonna do is rename this to summary. And page 2, what's the name of page 2? Banner deep dive. Alright, great. Alright. So we got page 2, and we're gonna do something very, very similar, where we will try to replicate this page. And this video is already getting a little long, so I'm gonna end it here for now, and in the next video we're gonna do page 2 onwards. See you soon.